Welcome, everyone, to Recruits HabsCast. My name is Rick Springhetti, and we are joined, as always, by the Grand Poobah of the Recruits HabsCast organization, if we will, or community, Grant McCagg. Grant, as always, I need to know, what are your thoughts of the day, Grant?
The Grant Poobah. Yeah. Sounds like something like the Fred from the Flintstone days.
That's what I was aiming for, my friend.
Yeah. Brought me back, eh? Was that where Grand Poobah came?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The Water Buffalo organization.
We're showing our age now, eh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you know what? I think it's a great day to talk hockey.
Absolutely. I think so too.
Yeah. You like my shirt? I got it out of the mothballs.
Yes. I do like it. It's very lovely.
2009 All-Star game in Montreal. Yeah, I never got rid of this one. Yeah, there's a hole in it and everything. You know what? I'm going to keep this forever. It's great.
So a lot of stuff going on at camp. Some stuff that we kind of talked about a little bit of has been happening a little bit as we predicted or maybe expected. As a camp has started, one thing that we've noticed and Marty St. Louis has started talking about is the idea of having Alex Newhook kill penalties, and it's been brought up. What are your thoughts about that, Grant, if I may ask?
I guess the Habs are watching our podcast, right, Rick?
As they should.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can always learn a few things.
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of I've been championing that thought for a while now that we started to see it in the second half of last year. I thought that Newhook's defensive game just kept improving.
Yes.
And I think he's starting to realize that his meal ticket to a long NHL career is going to be an energy, use that skating to become a heavy forechecker, back checker, utilize his speed and energy, be more physical, become a pain in the ass, high quality checker in this league, because I know he was a top 20 pick and he produced in junior, he produced at college level, and you can't fault him for hoping and expecting to be a top 6 forward in the NHL, but he's been passed over by, top 5 picks, first overall picks. That's not his fault. You've got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slav, and Demidov and Line, right?
Yep.
All high picks.
Yep.
So there's no shame in him not being in that group and being on the third line. Like Bolduc is going to be on the third line this year, but by the looks of things, and he was a top 20 pick too. So for him to carve out a long, successful career, I think it's going to have to be as a solid two-way guy, become an effective checker, become a penalty killer. He's got that speed that, I've often drawn comparisons to Russ Courtnall with him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe not without quite the finishing of Courtnall, but a similar type of player that could become very effective if he utilizes that speed smartly and really concentrates on the defensive end of things, because I think he can be a really, really effective penalty killer and checking pain in the ass. That's what I think Marty's been getting that through to him. And I love the fact that Marty brought that up, that he thinks, penalty killer. Canadians, obviously, with Armia and Dvorak gone, they were two highly relied on penalty killers, and that's been one of the question marks going into the year. Who replaces those guys?
Absolutely.
I think Gallagher can. He did it in the past, and I think Gallagher can step up and do some penalty killing. But Newhook, that, and Bolduc, I think those three sort of come in to take the place of those two guys to a certain extent. Newhook's obviously going to have to keep improving on his face-offs. If he's out there with a winger on the PK, we can't be, if especially in the defensive zone, losing the draw all the time.
No,
on the shorthanded is not no matter how fast you are. that's not an effective way of killing penalties. So that part he's got to keep. He has improved his face-offs, and that's going to have to keep happening. But I liked Marty going there and having that as a plan, and I think that's a real smart way of dealing with Newhook. I think he can be, and I said it before the season started, that he might be one of the keys, kind of an underrated key to this season. If he can grasp that role of being just a two-way effective penalty killing center in that third slot, that replaces Dvorak, and that is going to be an important key, I think, to this team. Down the middle is the big question mark, and if he can fill that role effectively, replacing Dvorak, that's going to be a key to the Canadiens making the playoffs again.
Absolutely, and I think furthermore to that point, I think Marty St. Louis, as a former NHL player, understands the importance of a player that's not a superstar, but to have a role or something to do on the team that is important. If he doesn't give this to Alex Newhook shows up at camp and he doesn't know what his role on the team is. What am I supposed to do here? How can I help this team? Now he's giving him a purpose, a focus, something that he could work towards. And I think that's going to be very important for him to, like that, to play well and to know what he wants to do on the team and to know what he has to focus on. It'll only do a lot of good. And also think that the issue with Newhook is that as great as he is a skater, I don't know if he interprets the play very well in terms of vision and passing and who's open. So if he could score off the rush, I think it'll be more easy for him to produce offensively because he doesn't have to think of who's available, who's open, where am I supposed to place myself. I could just go towards the net. So I think you make a lot of great points, Grant, and I couldn't agree with you more about Alex Newhook and what he could do on the team.
Let's look like Josh Anderson last year is the example that,
of course,
Marty asked him to play a defensive role, and he bought in, and probably might have been his most effective year with the Canadiens. Where look, we don't need you to be a 25 goal scorer. What we need you to do is that runaway train, forechecking. Pain in the ass, kill penalties, concentrate on the defensive end of things because you can be such a vital part of the Canadiens, and he was.
Yeah,
I thought
sure.
Anderson really filled a key role last year with the Canadiens.
He did.
Away from the puck especially. And that's what Newhook, like with his speed, I think he's the fastest player on the team.
Yeah.
Well, that can be such an asset away from the puck.
Yep.
Especially if with the puck you're not necessarily, as you pointed out, the vision, the lack of finish that he's had, even though his shot's not bad, he just has, and Anderson has the same issue, right? So
it does. It's true.
I think Marty thinking, well, it worked with Anderson last year. We got the message through to Newhook as the year went along last year. This year, right from camp, say, okay, this is your identity. We want you to kill penalties. We want you to be a buzzsaw for this team.
Yeah.
Andrew Cogliano, I keep bringing back. That's what I think Marty wants him to. Cogliano's most best season was his first year offensively in the NHL at 45 points, right?
Yeah.
And he, but the offense didn't continue. It became apparent that, okay, he's not going to be a top 6 player. He's not huge, but he's fast and he's, you know, and they basically converted him into a defensive center, but a really good one. And
Mm-hmm.
he had a long career, helped several teams in that role. And I think that that's the path that Newhook is heading towards. And I like the Canadiens' mindset when it comes to how they're going to utilize Newhook.
Good point. Good point. We're going to segue to another Habs center that maybe has to find a new role or a new way to help the team. At camp so far for a little bit, Owen Beck has been used on the wing instead of center. He's been playing with Balduc and Newhook. I know you like Beck a lot, Grant. You liked him at his draft year. What are your thoughts on Beck
Yeah,
at the wing right now?
there are some similarities to Newhook, actually. Really, you
Really,
know,
there are.
yeah. Like the, I think. Well, we've got a little clip here. Let's play
Okay.
it. Just Marty
Okay.
talking about Beck. I thought I found it interesting.
With Owen Beck playing next to Newhook and Bolduc early on here in the scrimmages, just the thought process for you in giving Owen that first chance, and also what's kind of the identity you want to see from that line if they do stick together during the season.
Yeah, no, we'll see what we do. I mean, you want to see how, it looks in these scrimmages. For me with Owen, it's, he's really good when he plays direct, finishes checks, and and I think brings some physicality. He's got a heavy shot. He's got to find ways to get open and use it. So we'll see what the exhibition games bring us, but he's got to play to his identity. And I think when he's at his best, and he got a few games with us last year, and I thought he was at his best when he played a very direct game and on the forecheck and tracking back and being reliable defensively, playing with some heaviness. And when he does that, I think he helps any line he's on.
Direct. In other
Yes.
words, it's funny when he was in junior, I interviewed his coach, Mississauga, I guess it was at the time, Richmond,
Okay.
James Richmond, and he said, like, what does he have to improve on? And this was after his draft year, and he's, well, just give and go, like, you use that speed. You don't hold on to the puck so long, and oh, okay, I hadn't really noticed that, and then I started watching him more closely from that regard, and
Mhm.
ever since, it's the thing that bothers me the most about his game is that he loses the puck too often trying to make the fancy play when it's just, get it, get rid of it, quickly, go to the net, be direct, just like
Mhm.
Marty was saying. And I think every coach is sort of, trying to get that message through to Owen that, hey, you're not going to be Demidov out there.
Mhm.
You don't have that agility and stick handling ability at the NHL level. You can get away with it to a certain degree in junior, but very few people can go end to end in the NHL, and it's
Mhm.
rare. Even those people, it's rare because everyone's so good, right? 6'4" mobile defenseman with long sticks. You can't typically dangle them.
Yeah.
So, uh, and we even saw it in that rookie game, the first
Yes.
period and stuff, where he had some turnovers, where he tried to maybe, instead of just chipping it in the corner, he tried to make a fancy pass back to the defenseman that got intercepted.
Yep.
Saw it 2 or 3 times,
Mhm.
and that's not. He's going to have to, take advantage of. He's a big, strong kid, um, good skater, really good shot, heavy shot. So just play that style, you know. Um, Chip pucks in, go hard, forecheck, go to the net, find the open space to unleash that heavy shot and score some goals that way. It's not going to be a prolific playmaker in the NHL. I don't think he's going to have to, similar to Anderson and Newhook, right? Kind of in that mold and find his identity and play that style, and he'll get an NHL role, and it'll be bottom six somewhere. But also, like, I find it interesting that they put him on a line with Bolduc and Newhook. I guess it means that they're taking a long look at him in camp, right?
Mhm.
Even though I think Kapanen's ahead of him, it may he may end up getting a spot to start the year with the Canadiens as opposed to Kapanen,
Mhm.
because I think they want Kapanen to go down to Laval and kind of be the man,
Yeah.
the number one center, and keep developing his confidence, work on his game at the North American, the smaller ice, and put up good numbers, and then come up to the Canadiens when he's ready to play a top three center role. It looks like they're probably, I think they're looking at Beck being a winger at the NHL level, but also obviously with his face-off prowess, being somebody that in situationally can, you
Yeah.
know, Newhook has still got to work on his draws, and I think they'd like to have Beck maybe in there as a guy that can cushion Newhook.
Makes sense.
You know,
Absolutely.
have another guy that's good on draws that can help alleviate the issue with Newhook not being over 40% yet for his career in the
Mhm.
face-off circle. So we'll see, but yeah, I mean, I was way more impressed with Kapanen than Beck in the rookie tournament. Yet they're giving that opportunity to Beck at this point, being on that line with Bolduc and Newhook, in part because I think they're looking at him playing the wing, and they want Kapanen. I think this year, like last year, they put him on the wing on the fourth line, and that really wasn't. That's not where Kapanen. I think Kapanen's going to be a center. He's
Yep.
just there's so many things that he does well as a center, and they're maybe looking at saying, okay, we're gonna keep him at center this year, but down in Laval to start. Hope that he was top 3 in points per game in Sweden last year. Well, if he can be one of the top scorers in the AHL, okay, he's ready to step into a top 3 center role then at the NHL level. I like that. I like that thinking. And if, even though I think Kapanen should be on the team, he's good enough, it may be the kind of what they're planning. But again, exhibition season, right?
Yep.
If Kapanen's fantastic, he'll make the team. It's
Yep.
just like last year. He had a really good camp, really good exhibition season,
Yep.
made the team to start the year. So we'll see.
Wonder if it's not too a question of the role on the team being that Kapanen's they're hoping Kapanen holds onto the puck a lot, makes plays. You want him to be a little bit more ready for that because it's a bit of a more complicated role than to just
Sure.
Getting the puck up and dumping it and playing that straightforward game. So it might be a question too of Kapanen's abilities warranting a little bit more time to make sure that everything is really fine-tuned. And as you said, and I've noticed it too, right? You pointed out and you were spot on, especially when you see him out in person. He makes so many good plays that don't always amount to anything, maybe because the winger missed it or maybe a good defensive play. But Kapanen moves the puck really, really well. And wingers are going to like having a guy like that on to move the puck to them and to get scoring opportunities. They really will like playing with Kapanen, I believe.
Yeah. It's just a matter of him adjusting to the less space.
Yeah.
Less time, and in the NHL, North America, the smaller rinks, faster less time.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably what they want is Kapanen to be a top 3 center on this team, and I
Mhm.
think he will be. I think he
Mhm.
can be even a second line center if Doc,
Wow.
it, one of the things I think they're probably looking at is saying, okay, we're giving the job to Doc to start the year, but if he gets injured again or it's not working, they've got a guy down on the farm that's playing 20 minutes at center, producing presumably, hopefully, in
Mhm.
Kapanen, and if they want to plug somebody else into that spot, he'll be more ready after doing that at the AHL level for a while than if he's on the Canadiens and he's kind of the 13th guy
Yeah,
and playing,
I get it. Of
playing
course.
on the wing and not taking a center role, a regular center role until he replaces Doc. So it makes sense. I think that's maybe the line of thinking. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't think it's because they think, well, Beck's better than Kapanen right
No,
now.
I think it's a role
Because
thing.
I think we saw, and it's pretty clear that Kapanen is ahead of Beck as far as looking the long-term future on this club. So I think that's what the line of thinking is, and I don't disagree with it. They want Kapanen playing center. He's got all the tools to be a really effective NHL center. Just don't rush him. It's tough to come in and play a top 2 or even a top 3 center role that young in your NHL career. So I
Absolutely.
think that's the thinking.
We've talked a little bit about young forwards and their role in the organization. Let's kind of shift a little bit if we're made to defensemen now. One guy that has shown some interesting stuff at camp so far this year, and it's been pointed out, is Arber Xhekaj, and he seems to have been showing some good things that people are impressed by. And Marty St. Louis commenting on him and on what he could do for the team. Grant, let's talk about Arber Xhekaj for a little bit.
Yeah, well, we both caught his press conference talking about Arber yesterday.
Yeah.
And, this fallacy that somehow Marty doesn't like Arber,
Mm-hmm.
Because he doesn't play him regularly. It has nothing to do with,
No.
oh, I don't like the guy. Other guys, he wasn't one of the top 6 defensemen on the team. That's all.
That's
It's
it.
nothing personal
No.
whatsoever.
No.
Arber had some struggles at times last year. He had to keep improving his mobility. I think we had a quick chat about that before we
Mm-hmm.
came on here, and you mentioned
Yes.
that, and it's true. I agree 100% that his penalties, the majority of his penalties last year,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the year before, were because he got caught flat-footed and had to hook a guy, or that type of penalty, as
Yeah.
opposed to the undisciplined ones that were the year before were the main reason I think Marty sent him to the minors, and wake up call saying, hey, you got to stop taking penalties that cost this team, because he took a few that ended up costing the team wins. So
Yeah.
he did improve in that sense last year, but it was also apparent that at times that he wasn't dealing with NHL speed as well as Struble was a lot better
Yeah.
that in that regard last year.
Definitely.
One-on-one defending, and there was no, and that's why he got in the lineup more. Nothing to do with Marty not liking Arber
No.
or vice versa, right?
Yeah. I remember when early in this career, and people called Arber Xhekaj the sheriff, right? That was his nickname. And I think Marty St. Louis said something like, well, here we don't call him the sheriff, we just call him Arber. And people got a little bit up in arms with that. But I understood totally what Marty St. Louis was saying. Marty St. Louis was saying, I want this guy to be a good hockey player that can drop the gloves if we need him. I don't want his I don't want him to be identified as a fighter, especially not as a defenseman, because that really hurts your lineup more when it's when a defenseman is being taken out for 5 or 10 minutes. So I think it was more a question of saying, I believe in this guy as a hockey player, and this is what we're going to work on. He doesn't need to learn how to fight. He does that very well already. That's not an issue. But I think he sees a lot in Arber, and Arber even kind of mentioned that when asked. He said, he's a bit like a dad. He could be hard on me, but I take it as somebody because he believes on me. If he doesn't think I could pull it off, he's not going to ask me to do stuff I can't do. So when he's asking me to do more, it's because he thinks I could do more. And I take that as a challenge. It's exciting, I think. And so I think it's almost the contrary. I think Marty St. Louis maybe believes in Arber Xhekaj as a hockey player more than other people do.
and there's some similarities there. They're both undrafted.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. True that.
Marty didn't really break through till his mid-20s to 26 or whatever.
Yeah.
Go on waivers one time, and it wasn't an easy process for him. So it's the same with Arber. Like, he wasn't drafted in the OHL, wasn't drafted in the NHL. He not going to just hand him a job. He's got to keep improving each year.
Mm-hmm.
And from all accounts, his skating is a lot better this year.
Yeah.
I think what happens here is Reinbacher goes down, and they keep Arber and Struble, kind of alternate them to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Till whenever Reinbacher's ready, and because we still don't know who's going to be the better NHL defenseman between Struble and Xhekaj. They both played so few NHL games.
Yeah.
I keep getting back to this, but Denny Potvin said you don't know what you have in an NHL defenseman until they played 300, not just 200, 300 NHL games.
Wow.
So we've seen a lot of defensemen over the years that teams give up on for whatever reason before they played 300 games, and they become, Gustav Forsling's a great example of that, right?
Good point about that.
I mean, I can name a bunch, Mark Giordano took 300 plus, a lot of defensemen, but Forsling is a good example where he even got picked up on waivers, right? Canadians don't want to give up on Arber or Struble. Both have shown that they can be NHL defensemen. Both bring certain qualities, but you still don't know at this point who's going to be better long term. They both have different things that they bring, but they are both physical. I like them both a lot.
I do. Yeah, I agree.
But you can't have both of them sitting in the stands either.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
If Reinbacher makes a team, you're going to lose either one of them on waivers like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense unless Reinbacher just blows everybody away in camp here and in exhibition games. But I don't think that's going to happen. And it's asset management, right? So you keep 7, you alternate Struble and Xhekaj as you go along, evaluate, and it might be the whole year. Reinbacher may stay the whole year in the minors because you don't have to. He's not waiver eligible. If there's injuries, he comes up and you deal with it that way. But or maybe he doesn't even. If there's an injury and it's not Xhekaj or Struble, maybe they're both in the lineup and that's fine, because I think they can both play. They're both capable of playing 82 games and not hurting the team at this point.
Yeah. I agree. Xhekaj and Struble are guys that are kind of working their way into the league. They haven't played a ton. A few other Habs defensemen have played a lot more in the league, and they're a little bit more established. We're talking about Dobson and Matheson. Said that one right? They are. Looks like they're going to be partnered up. Grant,
yeah.
What are your thoughts of these two as a duo?
Well, it's interesting. I think what it does is maybe alleviates things on Lane a bit. I think there's going to be 3 defensemen that play in the neighborhood of 25 minutes a game,
Mhm.
not more. I think at times Matheson and Hudson maybe played too much last
Yeah.
year. I had going in, if Reinbacher made the team, Matheson's on the third pairing with Carrier, but you don't go from playing 28 minutes a game to playing in the third pairing
Yeah.
typically.
Tough.
So
That's really tough.
yeah, so I mean the defenseman that led the team in time on ice the last 2 years, being paired with the right defenseman that's going to lead the team in time on ice, like in Dobson, makes sense that those two are together and that they'll play the most even strength, right? Then you put Gooley with Hudson, which I think is a nice.
Yeah, I
They
think so.
complement each other nice too, right?
Yeah, it'll work.
And they'll play almost as like there's your big four,
Yeah.
and then you have Carrier and Struble and Xhekaj
Yeah.
as the third pairing, and so it makes sense. It makes sense that's. I also think it's telling you that Reinbacher's heading to the AHL.
I think so.
Right.
I think what we've seen, it seems like the right thing to do from what we've seen, you and I in
Yeah.
person.
Well, you can't rush him. I don't think.
No.
I look at who's the big defenseman on Dallas there that played for Canada last year.
Haley, Harley, Thomas
Harley.
Harley.
You look at his. He it took him some
Oh
a
yeah.
fair bit, a couple of years in the AHL,
Yes.
some seasoning, right?
Yes.
And now look at him. You don't rush these guys. Simone Edvinsson,
Mm-hmm.
top 10 pick, right?
Yeah.
They gave him a fair bit of seasoning in the AHL before they brought him in. Now he looks really good. With Reinbacher, I think he could play in the NHL this year, but having missed a lot of last year, give him a bit more seasoning in the AHL, and it's going to be fun. Kapanen and him are down in the AHL, and Joshua, who looks really good too.
Yeah.
There's going to be Laval's going to be really
Yeah.
good again
And
this
Jacob
year,
Fowler
and fun
Nets
to
is gonna
watch.
be, I love the comparison too when you brought in like Harley and
Edmondson.
and Reinbacher is the one thing they all have in common to me is pretty much a very similar body type, very tall,
Yeah.
very lanky, kind of have to grow into that frame. I think it'll be helpful too. Maybe Reinbacher will avoid a few injuries too if he stays down a little bit, just to grow into that coordination, that body, make sure his core is stronger, make sure his lower body's stronger, that he could withstand, the pivots and turns that you have to do when you're an NHL defenseman. Maybe by having him start in Laval, you give him that time he needs for him to get used to his body and to be able to improve that core strength. And, I think it makes a lot of sense if you look at it that way.
Yeah, no, for sure. The Canadians are at a point where they can afford to let really good prospects percolate in the minors,
Nice.
and
That's good.
there's no rush to bring them
Right.
up. Not like KK playing a top 3 center role at 18 and 19.
Yeah.
Especially at 19 after he had his knee injury,
Mhm.
and it was apparent 10 games into the year that he should have been sent to the minors, but there would have been such an uproar,
Mhm.
which you shouldn't have mattered anyways. But
No.
do the right thing, send him
I
to the
agree.
minors.
I
But
agree.
it didn't happen because the media would have gone nuts and the fans. It's true. I don't see any other reason why they didn't. But it hindered his development.
It did.
not putting him down to the minors when it was apparent that he needed to find his confidence and he had lost it completely. They're not doing that now. The new regime is patient. They have a plan. They're not, diverging. They're not changing the plan. They're going to bring in guys when they're ready and when they can help the team win, because they're in win now mode. They're not,
Yeah, they are.
That's why these guys, Reinbacher might be ready, but from a development point, maybe, and same with Kapanen, but it's all about winning now. They want to win right off the gate. That's more important than a young prospect playing in the NHL, because they want to. There's pressure on them to have these guys in the lineup and make it look good. Oh, we picked this Reinbacher top 5. We got to have him in the lineup, or that they don't think that way, and I think that the club's better for it.
Yeah, and also the danger is bringing up a player because you have a hole to fill. A player shouldn't graduate because you have a hole. That shouldn't be. That's
Right.
not fair to the player. That's not fair for his long-term prospects. So totally agree with everything. And if Reinbacher goes down, I'm sure it'll just make him better in the long run.
Yep. What do you think of the?
We also talked about Marty St. Louis and people's resting habits and
okay.
making sure they get some good rest habits. Tell me about that, Grant.
Okay, well, let's just
get you sleep on the road. Excuse me?
All three of those guys have become dads recently. What's your best advice to guys now having to adjust hockey and being a dad?
Get you sleep on the road.
I love the look on his face there. Marty's such a. I'd love to have a beer with Marty St. Louis,
Yeah.
or maybe 5. I think it would be fun. He's just he's a pretty cool cat.
He reminds me a little bit of an old Montreal coach, but not a hockey one. And Philippe Alou from the Montreal Expos, who spoke a lot in parables and a lot of comparisons, and he does a lot of that.
Yeah,
and it's always really well done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's kind of cool that I dubbed them yesterday the new dad line, right? Because Anderson, Evans, and Gallagher all new dads, so and they're playing together, right? So
Evans times 2, actually.
Okay, well,
Evans
there you
is
go.
a father of twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh boy,
So, yeah, he's going to be getting a lot of sleep on the road, I think.
Yeah, poor guy. But yeah,
Grant,
if there's
we're
rings
talking about
under
a
his
little bit.
eyes, if there's
Sorry?
rings under his eyes, we'll know
Well,
why when interviews.
We talked a little bit about the future of some of the Habs players that are in the lineup, such as Xhekaj, such as Reinbacher. So that kind of leads me to think that we should be talking about the Habs prospect of the week, Grant.
Yes, sir. Well, I decided Philip Eriksson. Sorry, you don't get the nod this week. He actually cooled down. It went 2 games without scoring points. So
Oh no,
don't know what's going on there. But crashed back down to earth a little bit.
A little, yes.
But I went with Bogan Konyushkov. He's
Okay.
he started the year. He's got 4 assists. Picked up 4 assists in his last 3 games. He's top 13 in assists to start the year in the KHL.
Okay.
Still playing 20 plus minutes a game on the right side. He has since he was 20 years old in the KHL, which is rare. Wearing a letter, since he was 20. Just coaches love him. And what I did was I went back and had a look at a game and we'll play the clips here and talk about what we see. Okay.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. Okay, he is on the right side on defense here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we go. But it's not. I don't think I wouldn't call him sexy, right? He's not. He's not a punishing hitter. He's not big. He's not gonna rush the puck a lot. He's just friggin' steady. There's the one time when a guy got around him, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
but even then, his recovery was great.
Mm-hmm.
What stands out for me, and you'll notice in these highlights, is just his agility, mobility, edges, quickness. He's just he's an elite skater defending, and you'll notice it in these highlights. Unfortunately, I think they're filming from a blimp or whatever with these highlights, so you sort of have to squint a few times to.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just see how mobile he is and how smart he is. I think he's in position all the time.
Yeah.
And stays between the goalie and the defender just about like 100% of the time. I love his mobility and his IQ. What have you? I know you've seen some of him as well over the years. What are your takes on him?
The first thing, and you just mentioned it now, is he always gets between. He gets not only between the goaltender and the opponent, but he gets between the puck and the opponent. He's constantly breaking up plays. He constantly gets in the way. He constantly tangles up the stick very well. So he doesn't engage physically because he can't, but he holds on to he kind of gets in the way of the player's stick a lot. And he's really quick at, on the first pass and then the breakout. He doesn't have to be, again, not a spectacular first pass, but the minute the puck is on his stick, he quickly finds the open man, gets that puck moving down the ice quickly. A really, really, again, a cerebral player. And as you said, the coaches love him. Igor Larionov just swears by him.
Yeah. I just, sorry, I wanted to show this again.
Yes.
This is at the start of the period.
Okay.
Okay, check out what he does here. Do you think, was he on an ice treadmill or something?
Got to get those feet moving, right?
Yeah. Is that how he sharpens his skates? No,
wow.
That one was like, oh, that's different. But anyway, whatever works. No, those are all salient points, Rick, and I agree 100%. And here again,
holds on to that stick.
Yeah, he is between the defender and the puck and the goalie all the time, and a lot of it has to do with, his IQ, obviously. He's great positionally, but his agility.
Yeah.
He's a very mobile defenseman. His defensive game reminds me a little bit of Chelios.
Okay.
Just back with the Canadiens, but where he's not overly physical.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Chelios would whack you.
Yeah. 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 You had fun.
Right. But they have him on the power play in there. You just saw he can move the puck smartly. He and it's a safe pass that he normally makes. He's not going to try to thread it through three players and get it intercepted. He'll chip it out if that's the play, right? To get it out of the zone, as opposed to trying to force a pass to it. And I mean, what the heck? He's so good defensively. Like, if the other team gets a puck and they bring it back in, he's going to stop them.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it doesn't always go on a teammate's stick. The other team's not going to get past him anyways. So I just think he plays a really cerebral game, but when you just watch him, you can't help but be impressed by him always being in the right position. What do you think?
Oh, I really like him a lot. He's again not the biggest, but and it's hard to tell. I understand by video, but he doesn't seem like a fragile, smaller defenseman. He seems to be reasonably stocky that I think he could take. He could battle. He's not going to be totally dominated physically, but again, it's not going to happen a lot because the plays are broken up before he has a chance or he has to engage and try to fight for possession. I think he's just going to break up plays way earlier than that. He doesn't seem to give up the blue line too easily either because of his mobility and his sense of anticipation. So, teams are going to have a tough time really getting a good zone entry with him on the ice, I think.
Yeah. You know who he plays a lot of there's a lot of similarities to Carrier.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
you
true.
know,
Not big, but not fragile either.
No. I mean, he won't. Carrier is a warrior, and I wouldn't, that's the one I'd say advantage he has on Konyushkov, although it could lead to injuries more often,
That's true. Yes.
Because he takes hits there. Sometimes just he plays like he's 6'3", and Konyushkov doesn't. But from the standpoint of his one-on-one defending, his cerebral game, his look at this, he got back, and he's not the fastest skater in the world, but his agility, edges, mobility are elite, I think. And Carrier's a really good skater too.
Yeah.
But two guys that are about the same size, right? Not flashy, not going to get a lot of points at the NHL level, but just heady defensive defenseman with mobility, right?
Could there be a touch of Jordan Spence in him too, a little bit? I haven't seen Jordan Spence a whole lot, but is there a possibility that there's a little bit of that in him?
Oh, I hope he's better defensively than Jordan Spence.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I see more of I see a lot of similarities to Carrier, and obviously that would be. I mean, Habs fans could identify to that more so, right?
Yes.
We've all seen Carrier more than we've watched.
Oh, yes. I was thinking a smaller right shot defenseman also, and I was trying to please our Ottawa fans by throwing out a ball for them too.
all three of them. Yeah. No, that's fine. We don't have to appease those guys. No. Not the biggest Jordan Spence fan. I'll say honestly.
Okay.
I don't know that, like if you wanted to say, well, who made the better off-season upgrade? Was it Ottawa getting Spence or Montreal getting Dobson?
Yes, Montreal has a slight edge.
I'd lean towards Dobson.
Grant, quickly, because we are running long, but
lots of time.
So, was there I think there was an honorable mention that you talked about?
Oh, yes. New captain of the Medicine Hat Tigers. We've got Bryce Pickford.
All right.
And this, of course, isn't Bryce Pickford.
No.
I don't know why this doesn't. I click on it and then it doesn't come. Anyway, still working on that. Here is okay. So
the shot, of course,
always with that shot, and then the Selly.
Yeah.
New captain, Medicine Hat, who went to the Memorial Cup last year. 2 goals, 1 assist in the season opener.
Good start.
I'm glad to see that he was ready for the start of the year because he didn't play at the rookie tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah. Right.
So it was obviously a minor thing, but 2 goals, 1 assist. great start. Second goal was an empty netter. I like that too. It means he's on the ice at the end of the game to, you know, not just a point scoring defenseman. He's out there protecting the lead
Good stuff.
late in the game. So,
Good.
yeah, 2 goals, 1 assist. I'd have all of them, but Instat doesn't have the game up yet. So maybe next week, what I'll do this week is get a scouting video and put it out at some point this week on Pickford's first game.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And people do appreciate the content. And, again, join our community, folks. Rather be on YouTube or Patreon. We're going to have some great stuff for you. Grant really puts in the time. And as you can see, and as he's shown over and over again, he has a really good way to break down the strengths and weaknesses of Habs prospects and Habs players. So there's a lot to be gained for you, and it's a very, very small price to get a lot of great content. So please join, please become part of our community. We got some great stuff in store for you now, and we're going to have even better stuff as the season rolls on.
Patreon HabsCast, $5 for a month. I'm going to have all sorts of scouting videos over the next month now that hockey's got going again. Paul donated 2 tickets for the last exhibition game. It's going to be somebody that's a member of Patreon that wins those. And right now, it's like a 1 in 6 chance, or 1 in 5, because you're not eligible.
I'm not eligible.
Not eligible.
I'm fine with that.
I don't think.
I want one of our good friends to.
That's right.
One of our good community members to win that.
So, I mean, the next person that signs up, you got a 1 in 6 chance of being on the glass for the last exhibition game of the regular of the exhibition season. So, sign up to our Patreon page. We're gonna also invite people that are members on to our podcast to ask questions as we go along here and we build the community. So, early access to all videos on Patreon, exclusive videos, including 1 podcast a week as we get going here, scouting videos that are only going to be on Patreon. Going to put up a ton of stuff there as we get more support from people and build this community. I also got my first sponsor, which is awesome. Pretty exciting, and I'll just put it up here quickly. Bonashare Caves, Eganville, Ontario. Private family-owned business run by hockey fans. 613-628-2283 for more details. Now, Chris Hinsberger is the I've known Chris a lot of years and just one of the nicest guys in the world. Eganville's a town of about 800, and it's in the Ottawa Valley. It's about an hour drive from Ottawa to Eganville. So anyone that's coming up to this area and wants to go to a cool, and I mean that literally, cool tourist attraction, go check out the Bonashare Caves. They're lit throughout, like they have lighting throughout the caves, planks down, like you can walk. The walk is easy. It's cool. It's the coolest caves I've ever been in. It's actually the only caves I've ever been in, but really neat tourist attraction, and open till Thanksgiving for now, and then opens again in May, the May long weekend. The temperature's always the same. Like it can be hot or cold. It's the same temperature in the caves. We call him Caveman Chris, but I first saw Chris when I was like 12. I was a big fan of our junior B team. Okay. The Renfrew Lions. Now I grew up in Renfrew, Ontario, which is 15 minutes from Eganville.
Okay.
And the Lions went all the way, won the league that year, and won the Eastern Ontario. They played Morrisburg, beat them. the last time that we've had such a successful junior team in Renfrew, and the
Wow.
town went nuts. I think the capacity was about 1,500, and in the playoffs there against Morrisburg, and they were putting in 3,000 plus.
Wow.
The fire marshal kind of looked the other way, you know.
Yeah.
But Chris and his brother Alan were both on that team. Okay, so a good hockey player in his day, and still plays to this day. But a huge Ottawa Senators fan, and I won't hold that against him. You know, I mean, if you go there, there's a good chance Chris is around. Ask for Chris, and he might even bring you into the cave and show you hieroglyphics from the last time the Senators won the cup. You know, little shot at him here, little celebration of the last time Ottawa won the cup. But anyway, love the guy, fantastic guy, and I really appreciate him becoming our first sponsor.
Wow.
He does so much for his community, just so involved in tourism and in the Eganville area. Just an Ottawa Valley icon, I think. And hey, if you're coming up to the Ottawa area, you want to come up and you want to go to a cool tourist attraction, Bonnechere Caves is the place to be.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm blown away. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful, and 1 hour away from Ottawa. It's a great drive, and thank you, Chris. And please check it out. It's really worth it. Bonnechere Caves. It looks incredible.
Right on.
So, Grant, that's our show for today. We pulled it off. I managed to stick around for the full hour this time, so I'm really happy about that.
We're going to keep it under
again,
an hour too. It looks like barely.
Yeah, we did great. And listen, check it out. HabsCast. Join our community on YouTube, on Patreon. Follow us on Twitter, on Blue Sky. Become part of this great organization. Sorry?
Click subscribe on YouTube there,
Yes,
folks.
it's worth it. It's worth your while. It helps us, but it's really great content for all of you people, and we really want to engage with you. And again, it's a community. We really appreciate all the support, and every day there's going to be more shows, some great content, and great contributors all week long. Grant, on that note, have a fantastic week, and we will see each other again next week.
Okay, see you, Rick.